Alright. Yeah, we live. Hey, you got to
Well,
hit go live on IG.
where I'm doing that at?
Just like you regularly do go live. That's what it said. Like you did last time.
I don't remember never going
Man.
live.
Yes, you did. Because remember, we was into the thing, and then you said, oh, I ain't even hit live on IG. You got to hit the go live button. Hold on.
Yeah, on my phone I can do it for sure, but I'm on my phone on the StreamYard and on IG on my computer.
Did you hit go live?
Ain't no go live.
Oh, you got to hit go live on IG. You got to go live on IG. Okay, you got to go live on IG. Man, you over here acting old.
No, I ain't.
What's up, good people? We had some technical difficulties.
No, we're not. No, we're not. We're not having technical difficulties. We having the teacher is having difficulties explaining to the student what the teacher actually wants the student to do.
I told you what to do. You just old, man.
Those are the type of problems we having right now.
You just old, brother. Did you go live on IG though?
No, I'm looking at IG. I don't see where to go live besides where it says create.
Yes, that's go live.
Okay,
That's
create.
going live.
Hold on, create live video, and it's telling you to do everything all over again. But I don't have the audience is public.
Yeah.
I hit next. And then it's telling me to do what I sent to you. To copy the stream key.
We already did that.
Okay. So where I'm putting it at? Where I'm putting the copied stream key at?
Already did it.
So what you talking about then?
You went live last time.
I know. I don't, are you live on IG?
No. Because you got to do it on the side like last time.
Wow.
I set it up in StreamYard. Then you got to go live.
Let's see, man.
On your side. Because last time you said, oh, I ain't even go live. And then you pushed the button and then we was good.
Yeah, because I could see.
That's too many excuses.
I don't see it. As long as you live, you copied the thing and we supposed to be live on IG already.
No, but you gotta the instructions is once I go live, or once we go live on StreamYard, then on your side, you hit the go live button. That's exactly what we did last time. Cause I remember I don't know how long we was talking, but then you was like, oh, I ain't even live. I ain't even hit the button.
I remember that. But I don't see I don't see that good, brother. Hold on. I see a picture of you with a tie on.
So, but why you in that? Why you not in the where you was at before with how you did it?
I am live video.
Yes.
Add video details. Audience is public. Next. And then it takes me to the same thing. Where it says copy the stream key.
Okay. So do this. Copy the stream key and resend it to me all over again. So did you get out? So once you sent it to me before, did you get out of that? Did you close out of that?
No.
So then why did you have to go back to the beginning? Why wasn't it where it was at the last time at the stream key part?
Hold on. I just minimized the The what you call it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We gonna get it, y'all. No, not that.
Uh-oh, Paris saying something. Oh, on IG. Hold on. I can't read the comments on there.
All right, I just sent it to you again.
All right, let me go out and redo this and see what happens.
Well, we supposed to start it 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, being old.
Nah, man. I'm doing my part.
Very poorly.
I'm doing my part, man.
Very poorly.
You supposed to already have this set up, you know.
Hey.
Not coming in at not telling me we're gonna start at 7:00 and then at 7:00 sending me issues to solve at 7:00. That ain't how this work, man.
Okay, now what's it showing? After you done sent me the stream key, then what?
It's showing the same thing where I can copy it again. Now I can get out of that to where I can look at our.
No.
All right.
Hold on.
Something else came up that I could click on that would say just say go live.
Which is what happened last time. Hold on.
You see how when I do my own videos, how seamless they are? Like when I'm
Man, that's just a regular hand. All right, now hit go live.
Where I'm hitting go live at. Okay, there we go. There we go. I got it now. Yeah, we live.
All right.
So to all of the people out there that are watching right now, I'm sure if you were watching from the beginning that you now understand that was a mistake that Fafore made because he had to do it over. He did something and he was like, okay, now click go live. So
what I did was I deleted it and then re-added it again. Okay. So while you stayed in it, because you got out of it last time, so then you could see the go live, you could click it. That's what I did.
No.
That's what I did.
We ain't gonna go with that.
What's up, good people?
What's going on?
Man, what we gonna get into today? Oh, I got a couple of topics.
Hold on, I got a question for you.
Okay, go ahead.
I got a question for you. You know, it's a big craze going around on the internet right now talking about 100 men versus a silverback gorilla. Who would win? No weapons, no none of that. And we I'm assuming we in the jungle somewhere. But 100 fully grown men versus a fully grown silverback gorilla. Who you got?
The silverback gorilla.
Flawless victory too. And ain't no
yeah.
You could put 300 people. Is the gorilla flawless victory every time.
That's an easy victory. So here's my thing. Like, so I was watching today, I saw Ryan Clark on the pivot saying that Ryan Clark, you probably don't know.
Yeah. That's the black dude. He black?
I mean, you had a 50-50 guess at that.
But he's an old football player?
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
So on the pivot, he said, the scientist said, because he initially said the gorilla would win easy. He said he spoke to a scientist who said you only need about 30 or 40 men to subdue a gorilla. Here's the problem. I don't know if that scientist ever got punched in the face
by a regular dude,
by a regular person, or watched somebody get knocked out
right?
by a human being get knocked out by another human being. Because what a gorilla would, my whole thing is, who gonna be the first person to run up? Because what the gorilla would do to the first person to run up, it's a good chance that the fight is over with.
Right. Yeah. The other 99 ain't gonna want no smoke.
No smoke, and then the fight over with. So
right.
the gorilla never actually has to engage 100 men.
Right. And he can't. I mean, even at the best, 5 people might be able to attack the gorilla at one time. 5. That's not that's not enough. He gonna kill all of them. At the very least you gonna get is the hospital. Ain't no first aid or none of that. Everything is gonna be beyond first aid. So you either going to the hospital or you checking out. That's it. Those are your only 2 options. And if you go to the hospital, some of y'all gonna wish I was dead. So it's gonna you either checking out or critical condition. That's it, man. Them the only choices you got.
Absolutely. Now, if you could hypnotize 100 men to where they had no fear and they just attacked, then I would say, the 100 men.
See, but that would make it seem like it's the fear that's causing you to lose. Oh, it's not the fear causing you to lose.
What I'm saying is, if there's no fear, then you could literally have essentially 100 men charge the gorilla. Not all 100 gonna be able to put their hands on the gorilla,
right?
But
5 at a time at the most.
But see, I'm thinking if you just have all 100 just charge and grab, it's gonna be some L's either way. But after maybe just sheer being tired and the number of constant attack, the gorilla get wore down. But that's if you can hypnotize them. If it ain't none of that, the fear gonna be the biggest thing. The first person is not who's gonna be the first one to jump? Like, that's not happening. Because like you said, the first 10 easy is catching severe fades.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I saw something that said the gorilla could like lift 4,000 pounds. Like it's like you fighting 104-year-olds. Like, but all it's gonna take is about 2-3 minutes. The first however many people out of there. The rest is gonna be like, nah, I'm good.
But I'm gonna smoke 104-year-olds though.
No, you not. You ain't gonna need to. You gonna smoke 5, and then the other 95 gonna be like, nah.
Oh man, yeah, man. It was so many people that talked about. Man, I watched a gorilla open up a coconut with his hands.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, you ever seen? I done struggle opening up a coconut with a hammer and a screwdriver.
Me too.
Yeah, man. So when he cracked that with his hammer fist, boom, and just busted open, I'm like, man, dude's just talking, man. Then they stopped talking about that and start talking about all other kind of stuff, like 100 dudes from Atlanta and 100 dudes from Houston, or 100 dudes versus 100 studs. I done seen all kind of stuff.
Ooh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I done seen all kind of stuff out there.
That's hilarious. I ain't seen that. I saw 100 dudes from the US and 100 dudes from
the UK.
The UK. We got that easy.
Yeah,
that's easy work.
Yeah, I seen that. We got a few people on the IG. Wonderfully Undone. Fayemi. It's Kelly. We got a few people on.
Okay. So the next big topic, Sinners. Now I know you still haven't seen the movie.
I ain't seen it yet.
What you waiting on?
I don't know. I done seen a lot of clips on TikTok about it. So I've seen that there's some spiritual undertones and those type of things, but no, I haven't went to go see it yet. Soon though, probably not this weekend. If not this weekend, probably the following weekend I'll go see it.
Yeah, I saw it.
What'd you think about it?
I thought it was good.
That didn't sound convincing though.
No, I thought it was good. My problem is I love black people. Like, God knows I do. But it was a lot of, I mean, the way black people was talking about it.
They oversold it.
Man, I was expecting Coming to America mixed with Five Heartbeats, mixed with The Avengers. You know what I'm saying? I was expecting that. Was it good? Yes. But the way that we was gassing it, like, I was just like, yo, something told me. I knew it wasn't gonna be that, but again, it was good. I enjoyed it.
It was still good.
Now, when I saw those think pieces on it, I thought it was gonna be full out rituals and Ishefas and initiations and
right
and animal sacrifices. Man, the African spirituality is just a love piece.
Yeah.
It was one character. I don't know what she practiced. Hoodoo mixed with maybe a little Ifa. I don't know. Because, everything I was seeing was she hoodoo lady, but then she ended her prayer in Ashe. But she made a mojo bag. So I'm like, so maybe she practiced a little bit, a couple days. I don't know.
Right.
But
yeah.
So it had that moment in there.
So what about the parts about I saw some clips on TikTok about Papa Legba or Elegua, Eshu, whatever you want to call that energy that's at the crossroad.
I might have missed that.
Oh.
Because
I'm gonna have to watch it for both of us again.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it again though. But yeah, some of that, like, I ain't see all of that.
Yeah.
Or maybe just I don't remember. But it wasn't a whole lot of African spirituality in it. There was the part about the ancestors when Sammy was playing the guitar at the spot. So it was that. That was dope. But I'm gonna tell you, my thing about the think pieces. So I like all the think pieces. Now, were any of them spot on? I don't know. And the reason why I say I don't know is because I don't know what his intentions were.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you directed the movie because I know you, then I can go off and have a think piece on it because I know who you are, I know what you stand on, and then I can see these things in the movie, and then I can say, oh, this is what it is. Right? Like, I can write a think piece on Friday the 13th and say Freddy Krueger was Eshu because of the color of his sweater. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can break down all kind of things in a lot of different scenarios where the person who created it didn't intend for that to be, and I can break that down.
But I saw a dude though. What's his name? Ryan Coogler.
Yeah.
I saw him say something about Papa Legba though. I saw him say something about I'm assuming there was some part where that's what it looked like somebody selling their soul at the crossroad to be better at something. Or maybe he was talking about the story of the one guy that supposedly sold his soul.
That's what he was telling about, the story of the guy that they were saying Sammy was, loosely based on, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
He was telling the story. He made mention of V5, the actress that played, and she made mention of studying different African spiritual traditions like Ifa. She made, mention of that. But as far as anything about these different aspects and things that came up actually having to do with certain aspects of African spirituality, or these think pieces that were saying, oh, this is what this meant, this is what that meant. I don't have any problem with it because I love the conversation. And all of them make very good points.
Yeah.
But if that wasn't the intent of the person who was doing it, then that wasn't their intention. Just like everything that Kendrick says and everything that Kendrick does, it's his big old thing. Oh, Kendrick was wearing this. Back in 1947, this happened. Well, that relates to this, and that relates to that. And oh, guess where they went? To Toronto, Canada. Oh my God, you just killing Drake again. Like, come on. Could that be true? Yeah, it could be true. Could that have been Kendrick's intention? Absolutely. Could it not be? More than likely, that's what the case was. You know what I'm saying? And so I enjoy all the think pieces. But here was my takeaway though. I saw a lot of think pieces from Christians who were calling the movie demonic and all this, that, and the other. And there's somebody that we follow on TikTok who actually made this comment, and I can't remember the name of her page, because I even made a comment when she said it.
I know who you're talking about.
Do you know the name? You remember the name?
You're something from the hood? Or Nick, you're Nick from the hood? I know who you're talking about though.
Yeah. But she said that Christians are the MAGA of the spiritual community.
Right. I remember that.
And I said, ooh, that hit. But I'm going to take it a step further. I think Black Christians are the MAGA of the spiritual community. Because when I see all these videos of just, not just the movie centers, but in other aspects, what I personally see, now there may be other videos that just ain't, made it in my algorithm and not a part of what I see on my timeline, it's always Black Christians. It's always Black Christians going super hard. There's, whether they're on these different podcasts or they're making these TikTok videos, like, I don't understand why they make a big deal of going so hard at dismissing everybody's system, especially if you did the same thing to them. Oh, they have a fit. And you could do it with just using the Bible and say, oh, well, the Bible says this or this, that. Oh, they don't like that. Now, again, I'm not saying all Christians or even all Black Christians, but if the shoe fit, wear it. In my experience, I don't see, in general, I'm not saying there's nobody who does that, but I don't really see Muslims doing it. I don't see Hindus, Buddhists, Jews, and I don't even see a lot of white Christians doing it. But Black Christians go hard in the paint. Everything is demonic. Everything is witchcraft. And by witchcraft, they say it in a negative connotation. I know we kind of owned witchcraft and we done made it the spiritual N-word. But they always going hard. No matter how famous they are, no matter how big of a podcast they have. Man, I seen Rotimi, that the singer and the actor, the one that was on Power. Mm-hmm. He making the rounds, or he went on this one podcast, and he Nigerian. And he going hard about, oh, they be doing all this witchcraft and this juju, and they tried to get my wife, when she was working in Hollywood, and she wasn't having it. I was like, and you Nigerian. Like, you probably got, not even probably, more than likely, you probably got, well, I don't know, he probably Igbo. But I could be wrong on that. But you got neighbors and friends, people you grew up with possibly, or hell, just the country in general is full of Ifa practitioners. And you were talking about some this witchcraft and they doing this and they doing that. Like, that type of stuff used to make me mad, not because they talking about something that I practice, because I didn't create it, so I don't get mad at that. I don't really care too much about that.
Right.
I hate ignorance, so I don't care what you're talking about. If you sound ignorant, I'm gonna be looking at you like, what? But yeah, he was going hard. But I get it. I've been in Nigeria, and boy, let me tell you something. When it comes to that Christian dogma, like be on the front line and risk it all, I don't know nobody who go harder than Nigeria. I'm gonna keep it real. I thought like we bad over here, but they might have us beat.
But most of the Christians that I've talked to that call African spirituality witchcraft or demonic or Luciferian, whatever they want to call it, none of them have read the Bible. Like none of them are. They know everything about Ifa. They know everything about African spirituality. They know how to tell you this is what the demonic things are. This is what I've heard, what I've read. You haven't even read your own book.
Right.
Right. You don't even know where to show me where it says witchcraft is a sin or that you shouldn't be practicing witchcraft. In the Bible, in your own book. You don't know anything about the theology. The only thing you know is that your grandmama was a Christian, so you must be one.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Absolutely.
That's it. But I feel you though. I feel you. I hardly ever get into conversations with Christians now because I'm like you. You know, I don't get upset about them talking about Ifa or African spirituality or none of that. I mean, because I want you to think I'm crazy. I want you to think I practice devil worship. That's what I want you to think anyway. So you good. You good. Yeah, I worship the devil now. Leave me alone. You ain't even gotta talk to me no more.
Yeah, man. Now I don't never get, into those conversations. I just see them online. I'm not in that space. Because I'm gonna hit you with so much information that you just gonna tap out. Because I read the Bible, I studied the Bible, I understand the Ptolemaic period in Egypt, the Septuagint, the writings of Josephus Flavius. I understand contextual criticism and what that means. I read all the lost books, or not all of them, a lot of them. I read the Apocrypha, all those different things. And so when we start having certain conversations, first of all, I ask you off the top, have you read the Bible? And if you say no, then I'm like, what is we talking about? Like you going hard for something that you ain't even read the instruction manual.
Right. But all they know is that Jesus was crucified, died, rose on the third day, sits at the right hand of the Father, and that's it, man. That's all they need to know. And they saved by grace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Saved by grace. It ain't nothing else you gotta do. And by that logic, I've been told by Christians that once you confess that Jesus is Lord with your mouth, there's nothing that can separate you from the love of God. So you can't take it back. So I'm good either way now.
Well, so first you gotta believe in your heart.
Right, I did it one time.
Oh, you said that? Oh, yeah. So you gotta believe in your heart, though.
Right.
And confess with your mouth.
Right.
That Jesus died on the cross for your sins. Yeah. Then you said
I did that. So I'm saved, and according to most Christians, now I can't take it back. I can't take that back. I'm saved. I'm going to heaven. So either way, I'm good. So now I can worship the devil from now until the time I die, and I can still go to heaven. So I'm straight.
Well, I always say that Jesus is still my personal Lord and Savior. So I'm good.
Yeah, man.
So let's go ahead and get to the topic at hand that we came to talk about.
Man.
And so
we did a thing.
We did a thing.
We did a thing, man. Since the last time
Yeah.
y'all seen us, we did a thing. We did a thing, man. We we went. Well, first we researched. You know, we are researchers, talking to many people, making sure that our lineage game is up to par. But we went and started our journey into Haitian voodoo, to Haitian Vodou. Uh, yeah, man. So let's talk to the people about that, man. How was your experience? What were your thoughts about your experience after coming out of this Lave Tech?
Um. So the thing about Haitian voodoo that was different for me than E5 is that you got your hand of E5 the month before I did.
Right.
So I was able to watch that. So when it came my turn, I already knew what to expect.
Right.
Here, I had no idea what to expect. I didn't know anybody. Well, we knew one person, but she didn't have her La Bete. You know, she just went straight and became Mambo Asogwe. And so we didn't know anything about what this process looked like. And if you go online, from lineage to lineage, person to person, they'll tell you all kind of things. Some people, a La Bete is nothing than merely a head washing, kind of maybe like an Ibori for those of you who practice E5, or Ibori or hair rugation, same difference. And so we heard a lot of different things. Our experience was an actual initiation. Now not initiation like Kanzo, which is a priest initiation. It wasn't that. So we're not priests or we're not Ugans. But we are Unsi Simp. That is our title after going through this process. But man, it was like it was a real deal initiation. It was gangster to say the least.
Right.
You know, like we got there and was like, oh, we for real, that's what we doing? Oh,
Right.
oh, yeah. Yeah, it was different, man.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it was dope. One thing I'm gonna say this though, Mambo has the dopest altars that I have ever seen.
Right. She does. Yeah. She does. Her
Like,
whole house is an altar.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. The whole house is all like you said, and the room we were in was essentially an altar.
One
It
big
was
altar.
dope.
Mm-hmm.
One big altar, and time moves slow.
Man.
Time moves slow. The rituals were beautiful. And I'm gonna tell you, this is one thing, the same thing that I saw when I went to Guatemala as we were going through the rituals. Again, never having seen these rituals, I know there wasn't one step that was skipped.
Right.
It was like it was nothing quick about it. There was nothing about it as we were going through different rituals at different times that felt like there was a shortcut taken. You know. So yeah, it was a beautiful experience. It was a dope experience. It was it was more than what I expected. If I'm gonna be real, it was definitely more.
Yeah, for me too. It was definitely different than my experience in E5 for sure. One of the things that stuck out was or is the concept of mounting or possession. That concept, at least in my experience in E5, is always surrounded by uh, people who are making an attempt to bring the possession or the mounting to an end. There's always people around that are, doing whatever they're doing, putting on F1 or whatever they're doing to bring the mounting to an end. That's is not the case in Haitian Vodou. Not the case at all. The mounting is sort of welcome, almost required. It's almost required to happen, to bring in the Loire and to bring in these messages that you receive while whoever is mounted is being mounted. So these messages, one of the things that we're going to have to do is actually learn the language. I really am going to put my nose to the wheel and focus on learning Creole. I think it's going to be necessary for us because the Loire speaking Creole, and I feel like that's something that we need to be able to understand and speak and write. I want to be able to write. I want to be super fluent in Haitian Creole. But that was the thing that stuck out to me was the concept of mounting and how it wasn't people around to bring it to an end. It was welcome. It was required. It was necessary, and we got many good and great messages from Loire that way.
Yeah, man. I agree with you what you said about the mountain. Like, it was a necessary part of it. And like you said, nobody tried to bring them out. They were just, the spirit was able to, stay with the person until we were done. Until we were done asking questions. We got a chance to ask questions. The messages were all on point. They all hit home. Like I said, it was a necessary part of the experience. It was like a mix between Ishe Fa and Tayfa in a way, because we stayed in one place the whole 3 days.
Right.
One of the big takeaways was the way that you greet the Loire. Before you start to speak to the Loire. So that's something that's very different in Haitian Vodou. But let's step back for a minute though. Why did you decide to go that path with Haitian Vodou?
So I knew that I wanted or needed something diasporic. Like I knew I needed something. I needed a spiritual system that was African derived, but had been practiced by some of my ancestors after they had already came on this side of the world. So I knew I needed that. In the beginning, I was looking at Lukumi. I really was looking at Lukumi, even though we already practice a more traditional iteration of Ifa. I was still considering Lukumi just because I knew I needed something diasporic. I needed something that my ancestors, after experiencing slavery, had practiced that was African derived. But the more and more we looked into things and getting readings from Mambo and finding out the things that we find out about lineage and all of those type of things, Haitian Vodou kind of fell in my lap. It kind of fell in my lap. I remember when I was studying the Akan people, you were already studying Vodou at the time when we first started looking at different these African derived spiritual systems. You were already looking at Vodou, and I was looking at the Akan people at the time. So I think we've always been looking for something that was African derived, or always been looking for something that was nature based, that came from our ancestors. But Haitian Vodou is gangster, man. It's gangster. So I think we both knew that we needed something that was a little, I'm gonna say stronger, for a lack of a better word. Not to say that Ifa is weak by any means, but Haitian Vodou just has that. It has that power of slavery, that power that came from being in that situation at those times. So there's an inherent power, and then you have the Haitian Revolution and Haitian Voodoo being used as the springboard for that. So there's some inherent power in Haitian Voodoo, and that's the path that I wanted to take, and that's the path that the Loire requested that I take. What about you? Why now?
Well, well, well,
Why
well,
Haitian Voodoo?
well. Tap on something that you just said. The Haitian Revolution. Do you know what universal year that was fought in?
I know because you said it a few times, but yeah.
Yeah, year nine, and we in the universal year nine. You know what I'm saying? And we are in the personal year nine as well.
Right.
Man, voodoo is the first, like you said, it was my introduction to African spirituality many, many years ago, probably 10, 12 years ago. And the more I talked to Haitian people, I met a couple Haitians, I asked them about it, and they was like, oh, we don't do that. The more and more they responded in that negative way, the more and more I'm like, oh, it's something to this.
Right.
I got to figure that out. And then you met our Luo, and then it was history after that. So here's the thing. When you walk in alignment with your destiny and purpose, you will be led to where you need to go. And there's a couple of things that's important in this story of how we got the Haitian Vodou. Oseun was saying first he was looking in the leukemia. We went to Cuba a couple years ago. And then it was in that Cuba. Now we had already, reading the Cuban stories and the Delogoon books and things of that nature, right? But going to Cuba and having certain conversations with those who practice that, that's when that correct me if I'm wrong, that's when that fire kind of was like, hey, let's go.
Yeah.
We need it.
Yeah, it was.
And we had a tour guide who practiced. He was a priest in Lukumi. He was in Abaquois, and he was a Tata in Palo. And so we had even asked about getting scratched in Palo and what would that look like. And he was like, yeah, we could do it, blah, blah, blah. Told us how that all worked. When we got back, I asked Ifa. Ifa said, hell no. So I was like, all right, cool. So one of our clients, we did a reading for. And well, we would do readings for them on a regular basis. And it kept coming up how they needed to practice spirituality. Like they one of the major themes kept coming up with that. But whenever we would ask about E5, it would be like, no. So we were like, okay, cool. Another time it came back around, it was coming up heavy. So we kind of just started going through the gambit. Okay, so they practice this, that, whatever. Come down to it, talked about practicing Haitian Vodou. That was their path. So in helping to assist one of our clients with making sure they found a good landing spot, we were able to meet the woman who became our mambo. And me and Oseun was on the same, mentality and idea around a mambo, because our Luo being who our Luo was, we just couldn't be, trained in Haitian Vodou by anybody. We had to find somebody who had the same, kind of power, the same kind of knowledge, the same kind of ashe, for the lack of a better word, than as our Luo, because it just wouldn't be right.
Right.
And because we have a Luo, we have a Godfather. I know for me personally, I don't know if we talked about this aspect or not, but I purposely wanted a a mambo and not an ugan.
Mm.
Because, you know, we wanted that godmother. We wanted that feminine energy because we already have a godfather and Ifa. And we definitely wanted somebody who was born and raised in Haiti. Not saying that somebody born and raised in America who, you know, practices and is initiated isn't any good. But we knew that we wanted somebody who was connected to Haiti because we wanted to have that thing of us going back and forth to Haiti and having that whole thing. And so we had a list of criteria, and then we met our mambo. And it was like, yeah, this is it. You know what I'm saying? She a old school Asogwe. So we was like, okay, we got it. And we tried to go to Haiti. We were supposed to go to Haiti in November to get our Lave Tech. And they start shooting planes.
I still want to go.
Right. He hits me up early in the morning and say, hey, you still trying to go? I'm like, what you trying to do? He said, that plane take off, I'm on it. I said, me too. So we was with it.
Right.
Hey, look, we true to this. If I said you good, I wasn't tripping. I wasn't worried. Our mambo goes over there. She's already over there doing rituals and things of that nature. So she pretty much is stuck over there from November to March.
Mm-hmm.
And then she hits us up out the blue and says she's still over in Haiti though, and we don't know when it's gonna be lifted to where she can fly out. She hits us up and says, "Hey, Spirit said, you know, pick a date. You know, the end of March." So I was like, "Well, when you gonna be back though?" She was like, "Don't worry about it. I'll be there. Just pick a date." So we picked a date. She went to the Luau. They said yeah, and so we was out. But yeah, man, for me, I never, you know, Oseun was with this. I never felt the desire to learn Yoruba. You know, we have bembes and things of that nature where we wear, you know, traditional clothing. That ain't never been my thing. You know, you ever see me pictures of traditional clothing? It was because I was forced to wear it. It was like, hey, all the priests wearing this. I'm like, all right. Nothing against it, but right. I know my ancestry is African, amongst some other things, but I'm Black, American, born and raised here. I'm more than comfortable with that. I'm not looking for identity. I wasn't looking for something to connect to. I feel like I already had that, right? And some of us are, and there's nothing wrong with that. I just wasn't. But it's something about the shared experience of slavery, Haiti being on this part of the world, like close to us. Not only like Oseun do I feel drawn to study the language, but the history of Haiti and the people of Haiti, I feel drawn to study that. And then I get, we get our Lave Tet and we get messages. Even before then, when we got our first reading, we were both told that we have Haitian ancestry. You know, now Oseun always tells me I don't trust nobody. But whenever it comes to me getting any kind of readings from other people, if they say something I ain't never heard of or came across, I'm gonna sit on my mat and pull out my old Puele and I'm gonna ask you for.
Right.
Like, I think it's because, you know, growing up in the hood too, like I always be thinking, not always, after I get to a certain comfortability with people, but my first thought people would be like, oh, you trying to hustle. So in my mind, I always got to back. All the reason I got from people who outside of myself, except my Luo. When Baba give me reading, I don't go back and do that. But outside of my Luo, I'm a double check.
Yeah.
And so when it came up like, oh, you got Haitian ancestry. I'm like, Haitian ancestry where? Like on your mother's side. I said, well, where was these people living at? It was like Georgia. I said, interesting. Now, studying them, I do know that at some point there were some soldiers from Haiti that went over to Savannah and fought fought in the war over in Savannah. And I'm wondering, like, I wonder if some Haitians stayed back because I had a dream of my house, where my house was, and when I see the house and all that's going on, I was like, I knew it was my house, and I was like, this ain't Texas.
Mm.
And I saw a video of somewhere in Georgia, and I said, man, it looked like that my house was in Georgia.
Right.
And so anyway, when she said that, I went, opened up my map, I asked E5, yo, do I have Haitian ancestry? Absolutely. I said, dang. I asked about Georgia. Absolutely. So I think I'm gonna really do that, some digging in the ancestry, because now I really want to know specifically who were those Haitians in my bloodline. But it was so much for both of us about essentially regaining the things that we lost, this tradition, and how it's tied to us through blood or through ancestry. Mm-hmm. So I was like, yo, I'm with it. So now I'm trying to, like you said, I'm trying to learn Creole and everything.
Yeah. I'm ready for that. Like I said, when we first got into E5, I wanted to learn Yoruba. But like you say, there's a call in Haitian Vodou. There's a call to learn the language, a call to study the people, a call to know the history of Haiti. I sent you a podcast called Revolutions. It's a beautiful podcast. Like it's a lot longer than what I sent you, but season 4 is about the Haitian Revolution, and he goes through this whole history of the Haitian Revolution and learning about how many Haitians left Haiti and went into Louisiana. Made me think about, because my mother, all of my mother's side is from Louisiana. I know one of my great aunts, I know for sure that she practiced voodoo. Now I don't know if it was Louisiana voodoo or New Orleans voodoo, or if it was Haitian, but there's definitely some voodoo in my blood. That's from me asking my mother. But yeah, man, there's a hell of a calling to learn this Creole, and the more I hear it, I'm like, yeah, man, I gotta learn that.
Absolutely,
because it sound live. I like how it sounds. But yeah, so now, yeah, man, we gotta learn Creole. We gotta learn Haitian Creole. One of the things I remember us talking to Mambo about, or me saying something to Mambo like, I need to learn Haitian Creole now. She say, no, you need to learn Creole so that you can understand all of the different Creoles in the Caribbean. But yeah, man, my focus is gonna be on Haitian Creole for sure.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. You know what? So another thing, and the reason why I mentioned some of the things about how we got here, because our Lord always says that when the people who come to your mat, there's messages in that for you as well. And so it was through somebody coming to us for divination to get a reading, we were able to then identify in ourselves that, oh, it was our time to go that route. Also being open, and how it took us to go to Cuba and see, I'm gonna say, that version of E5 to be like, yo, we need something like Oseun was saying, that for these people over here that had a shared experience. This is why I always love the Cuban stories more than the Nigerian ones.
Mm-hmm.
They always resonated with me more. But um, so just us being open to where we were being taken by spirit, we were picking up these breadcrumbs until it culminated into us, going this direction.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's study time, and we find ourselves in a different position that we've been in for some years now.
Right.
Even though we're always learning, but we've been priests for 4 years now, and so to go from being priests in one tradition where we know a little bit to go into another tradition where we know nothing and we're starting over,
from zero, literally zero.
From zero, and that takes a level of humility. Ain't no debaling. When we pull up, you know what I'm saying? When ain't nobody debaling us because we are priests of E5, you know what I'm saying? Right. We started at the bottom, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so you got to be humble. There's probably a lot of people who are priests of a tradition, and they probably need, for those of us born in the diaspora, we got ancestors in a lot of different things. Because somebody asked me, like, why are you getting initiated in all these different things? I'm getting what I was told to get. No, back up. I'm getting what I chose to get before I was here in flesh. And because I know my destiny and purpose, because Oseun knows his destiny and purpose, we are going where our Ori leads us to get the things that we're supposed to get. Mm-hmm. I was given a reading from a priest in the Lukumi tradition a few years ago, and he said, "You will have many initiations." And that was the time where I was like, I had just told somebody, like, I got I'm cool. I ain't getting nothing else. I'm not even getting the Orishas. E5, and I'm done. I can do everything I need to do in E5. And then I got this reading, and he said, you'll have many initiations. I said, like, hell I will. I didn't tell him that, but in my mind, I'm like, no, I ain't.
Right.
But then it kept hitting me, and I asked E5. E5 was like, yeah, man, it's a lot you got to do. Yeah. And so, we were just humble enough to walk in this process like this, starting all over. And it's an amazing, amazing journey. Mm-hmm. So let me ask you this, because I saw a video the other day from somebody who is a priest of E5, and they are a mambo, and say they don't mix the tradition. Oh, and they practice hoodoo. They say they don't mix the traditions. What do you think about that?
Oh man, see, you're gonna get us in trouble. You're gonna get us in trouble already, and we just started, man. We just started.
Let's do it.
So, I'm a utilitarian. Now you've known me for over a decade, so you know that things do have to make sense to me intellectually, though. Mm-hmm. But if something works, then I'm with it. No matter if people are saying you mixing this and mixing that, or you taking from this and taking from that. The question is, does it work? And if it works, then I'm willing to continue to use it. I'll say this though. There's a great difference to me between diasporic African-derived spiritual systems and the more traditional ones. So I think it's much more difficult to hide the mixing. I think it's much more difficult to hide the mixing. So you would, I would think somebody with a little bit of knowledge would be able to see that you've mixed, let's say Haitian Vodou with traditional Ifa. You've mixed those two. But my answer is I'm a utilitarian. If something works, if I find out something works, I was having this conversation in my head not today, as a matter of fact, about utilitarianism and about, like you say, mixing and what people are going to say. I think we've been in these spiritual streets long enough to know that somebody's gonna have say something to say about something. Um, somebody's gonna leave a comment and say Alave Tet is not an initiation. Somebody's gonna say Asogwe is not real Haitian voodoo. It's gonna be something. It's gonna be something. So I mean, people spend a lot of time on the internet arguing about who's doing it right, who's doing it wrong. From my understanding, in African cosmology and African deep thought, there is no either or. It's both and. Both things can exist at the same time. Both things can exist in the same place at the same time. Is this we have this belief that Eshu and Papa Legba are not the same, or we have this thing that what one tradition calls Shango and what another tradition calls something else, that is not the same. And to me, it's the same. It's the same energy. It's the same thing being called by different names because of different cultures. It's the same. It's the same thing. So, yeah, my answer is I'm a utilitarian. So,
Right.
what about you, man? I'm curious
Man,
what you think coming into both systems.
look, this is how I look at it, right? My compliment in E5 is Yemoja. For those, I mean, I know you don't, but for those who don't know, I got a Lasarian altar. I got a Yemoja statue on there. You know, I have an Ogu Farai altar, and I got an Ogun statue on there. Matter of fact, I got 2 Ogun statues on there, right? Same energy, like you said, same thing. Especially when you understand the reason how those spirits, well, at least the Ogu Farai in this situation of what I just said, comes from is a Luwa, because it was a spirit in West Africa, in Dahomey, in Benin, modern day Benin and Togo, right? So like you said, voodoo, West African voodoo and E5 falls under the same umbrellas. All 5 or I5, all falls under the same umbrella, right? I wouldn't be called to do both and have an ancestral tie to both if I wasn't to utilize both however I need to utilize them. So I'm gonna tell you how bad I mix mine up. In Ishe file, when you get your Ishe file, your hand of V file, you go through Tay file, priest initiation. At some point in those processes, you get an Etah. I got an Etah for my Labete. I got an Odu for my Labete. Now, I was talking to one of our elders, and he was like, why you need to get an Odu? Didn't you already get that? And I thought he was being funny. You know what I'm saying? I thought he was just making a joke. And I was like, no, you gotta read. And I said, yeah, I gotta read. Well, then you gotta know, dude. I was like, no. Again, I didn't. And then you said, no, we don't get a Odu. They don't do that in Haitian Voodoo. And he made a comment that had the light bulb go off in my head. He said, oh, the Odu must not have made the trip across the ocean. Mm-hmm. And I said, oh yeah, I never even thought of it like that. See, I was looking at them as 2 completely, entirely different things when they are, but they're not. You know, like again, the Odu E5 is a big deal in E5. It's a big, they use that in Haitian voodoo. I mean, in West African voodoo, but it didn't make the trip.
Right.
And I always said from the beginning, and you my witness, I said, I don't care what they teach me in regards to divining, I'm going to always drop the chain. And I realized with them, most of the diviners are either like mediums, or they use like tarot cards or playing cards. They use that. Some of them may even throw bones, right? And so there's no reason for me to abandon the Okwele.
Right.
You know, we use Obi to communicate with, different spirits, different Orisha. I might use my Obi to communicate with the Luai. I haven't done it yet, but I ain't against it either.
Right.
Because if we have the authority in the power of our voice to command these things, hell, I'd have been places that ain't have my Obi, and I'd have got some coins and said, hey, spirit, this is what this is. This is head, or this is light, this is dark, this is the masculine, this is the feminine. Ask my question, boom. You know what I'm saying? If the power is truly within us, within reason, we can dictate how we operate. And the reason why I say within reason, there's some rules, there's some order to some things. But you know what I'm saying? If it works and it doesn't go against anything, then utilize it. So I'm gonna use both. You know, I will say this though, them voodoo spiritual baths.
Oh yeah.
Go, man, go hard.
Right. Yeah. The one Mambo gave us when we first got that very first one was like, man. Yeah, it was like, man, it's some weed in this.
Yeah, I felt like somebody put something in my water or something. Boy, I felt real good. Like I really wanted to just go to sleep for real. I was like, can we start tomorrow?
Right.
Yeah. I'm good. I just want to go to sleep. But
yeah. It was a beautiful experience though, man. Like I say, it was something very different from my experience in my Shefa and in my Tefa. Very different experience when it comes to the concept of mounting. Yeah, it was different all the way around. I do want to at some point get into the history of the travel of West African Vodou to the West and why the divination system was lost or how it was lost. Because in the travels from West Africa to Cuba and Brazil and things like that, the divination systems of Ifa survived. They survived that trip, but that divination system of West African Vodou then didn't survive the trip. It's as if that spirit Fa didn't even survive the trip, and that's just from cursory looks. Like you said, we starting out with zero, so very little to no knowledge at all. But it seems that even that spirit, the spirit of Fa, didn't make that transatlantic trip and make it to Haiti or the Dominican Republic. So it doesn't seem like it made it. So that would be a good study to figure out why that's the case.
Absolutely. I'm excited because the fact of the matter is, for those who've been following us on IG and hanging with us, I love to travel. Internationally, I'm a big international traveler. I've been to almost 20 countries.
Rakim say y'all got mounted. No, not us, brother. Not us, but the Mambo. If hey, if Fafore would have got mounted.
Hey, yo.
Hey, but I be thinking people be lying though. So if you'd have got mounted or if you'd have started tripping, I'd have just waited till we was done and been like, man, you was for real, man. You was for real in there.
Right. Yeah, I'd have been dead if you would have got mounted, but that spiritual bath was called. Like I started feeling something immediately. I said, "Oh, this is different.
Yeah,
it's got some cocaine in it or something."
Right. I still been trying to reproduce the teas that Mambo gave us, though. I've been trying to reproduce that, man. And I'm like,
whatever she put in that tea, because we should have been hungry.
right. Yeah.
For real.
Hey, see, in my experience, how long we was there and how little we ate, I was supposed to die.
Oh yeah. We was
like,
on the real life hospice situation. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm telling you, man, because if I would have been home by that second day, I'd have been dizzy and everything. I'd have been out of there. Yeah. So
on the food, you right.
Yeah. So from my experience, I was supposed to die. I was supposed to die.
We didn't get fooled at all.
Man.
Said, because
I was supposed to die.
We was telling her that we didn't eat, like we don't eat no meat or whatever. She's like, oh, you ain't gotta worry about that. Y'all ain't come for no buffet. We ain't worried. Y'all gonna be straight.
Yeah. It was a good experience, though.
It was dope. But the rituals were so dope. Man, I can't wait to go to Haiti.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, I can't wait to go to Haiti. To understand that I love Ifa. I love Ifa. And I've been in Nigeria. I ain't about to keep flying out there. You know, I ain't about to do all that.
Right.
But I keep flying back and forth to Haiti. It's a short flight, and I'm so looking forward to go. I want to go up and down Haiti. I want to go from the north, south, east, west. I want to go all over. I want to be in the country. Mm-hmm. I want to talk to old Mambos and old Ugans. Might chop it over to Bokor too. You know what I'm saying? See if they got a little bit of that ooh-wee. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, hit me off with a little ritual. Hit me off with a little bit of something to get on my pop of them.
Right.
But man, like you said, that thing about revolutions, man. I've been listening to that podcast. I'm on like episode 14. Man, to understand the details and how in depth he goes about the experiences of Haitians in Haiti during the time of their revolution. Mm-hmm. Man, I don't think we really understand how gangster Haitians are.
Right.
For what they pulled off with their revolution. Like, we only learn about, Dessalines, Jean-Jacques Dessalines, and Bookman, and Cecily Fadiman, and, we just Toussaint Louverture. We only learn about a couple. But this podcast, he talks about 1,000 different people who were key players and things that they did and movements they made. Man, how these people were able to go out of slavery, and despite what was going on, I mean, how they took up arms and the strength of their spiritual tradition to be able to pull that off.
Right.
From the time they sacrificed that pig to Danto. And man, listen, like it's a beautiful experience. It does pain me to see what they're experiencing now, what they're going through now, and the conditions over there, because it's hectic in places, not the whole country. I don't want to say that, but in places there's some things going on, and it's easy for people to point fingers like, why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? Man, you have no idea what these people have had to endure and go through. Hell, most of us don't even know what our ancestors over here had to endure to the extent of what they had to endure. And it's just, I'm glad that I listened to my Ori and I allowed myself to be led here. But man, we got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of studying to do. Both of us were called to be Ugana Sogwe, so we got a lot of work to do to get to that point. I ain't trying to go tomorrow and then not know nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I definitely know he on the same page. But man, yeah, it was a dope experience. I can only imagine what Conzo gonna be like.
Mm-hmm.
Like if this was gangster, as long as Conzo is, man, this is gonna be, it's gonna be crazy. But you know what I'm saying? We with it. But it's a lot of it's, you know, we got what, maybe like 9 Orishas that we really gotta know and understand.
Yeah, for us, yeah, for sure, yeah.
It's
It's
so
not a
many
lot.
luau, man.
Right. Yeah.
It's so many luau. Man, the way that they do the rituals, the specific to the different things, the way in which you salute and greet certain luau, the order, all that. Even to the thing like I sent Mambo the video of my altar.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, "Oh, that is very beautiful, very pretty. But hey, you need to move this luau here, then this luau need to be second, then this luau need to be." I said, "All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and fix it.
Right.
I'm gonna go ahead and fix it
Yeah,
and get
it's
it
a
in
lot to
order."
learn. It's a lot to learn. You know, every time I hear something from Mambo or I taste Mambo and I'm like, yeah, I got a lot to learn. She always say, "Oh my dear, there's so much to learn. Like you have a lot to learn. It's a lot." I'm like, yeah, it's a
Yeah,
lot. It's a lot. But that's what makes it so beautiful to me. And that's what my draw was to Lukumi, because it seems so much more like it's a lot. It seems like it's a lot in Lukumi, much more than at least from my experience. From my experience has been the diasporic traditions are much more lively. It's much more to learn. So yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. We started from zero, so y'all will be able to watch us grow
I,
in Haitian Vodou as well.
absolutely. So we're not about to be doing no Haitian voodoo one-on-one classes for quite a long time.
A
I
decade.
know. I know people be on this thing where you know you learn something on Wednesday and then on Thursday you having classes on social media. We are not about to be on that type of time.
Right.
You know, but you know what? Real quick, and lastly, I'm gonna just say this: something that you just said about same thing in Luke and me, right? And I remember one day in bowling that book, "If I Could Mend a Broken World," where he went over to Cuba and talked about how the Cubans retain some of the knowledge and information that is even lost in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's something that has to do with slavery versus colonization that allowed those people in Cuba and Haiti. I don't know if it was the ugliness of the experience that
Mm-hmm.
made them hold on to things. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't there, or I might have been there, and I just, you know, that was a past life I just don't remember.
All
But
right.
um, I just wonder what it was that made people in Cuba and Haiti maintain and retain so much information that maybe they don't even do other places.
Necessity.
Could be.
Necessity is the mother of invention. Yeah, I feel like when you in a position where you live in the tradition, like in, let's say, in Southwest Nigeria, where Ifa is just naturally part of the culture, at least in the countryside, is part of the culture. There's no dire need to hold on to it. There's no dire need to keep it. uh,
Mm-hmm.
After the transatlantic slave trade, that was a need to hold on something spiritual, because the physical body was being killed and beaten and raped and those types of things. So they had to hold on to something uh, that was much larger than that, and they were able to do it not just in Haiti, but in Brazil, in Cuba, in the Dominican Republic, in all of these, all over the Caribbean, and all of these different places. They were able to hold on to uh, a lot. They were able to hold on to a lot. So I'm glad to be
Yeah.
a part of Haitian Vodou for sure.
Yeah, me too. I hope when I go to Haiti, it's more like our experience in Cuba and not like my experience in Nigeria. Because I was heartbroken in Nigeria of how much they rejected their ancestral tradition.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thrilled how much it was embraced in Cuba.
Right, me too.
And so I just hope that when we finally get a chance to go to Haiti, when things clear up, that's our experience, like we had in Cuba and not like Nigeria. Because the disrespect of the ancestral traditions for a tradition that was given to you by those who oppress you is crazy. I get it. I'm not judging them because I get it. I understand. You know, I understand why.
Right.
But then you go to a place like Cuba and you like, they wasn't for it. You know what I'm saying? They was holding it down. So, but again, not a judgment, just an observation. So, but man, we appreciate y'all for tapping in with us again. Sorry we was late. This time we got it figured out. We know exactly what we need to do. So next time we go live, we gonna start on time.
Right.
Cause you know, we just had a reminder on how to log in. But man, we greatly appreciate y'all. Oh, if y'all have not watched the episode from Our Falakun, part 1 and part 2, man, y'all gotta go back and y'all gotta tap into that. You know, we gotta move to a space of being dogmatic in spirituality and really get tangible information in tangible ways to move forward, to expand, to grow, to evolve, to solve our problems that we deal with on a day-to-day basis. That knowledge that our Falakun kick is very important for our growth. So, man, if you ain't seen part 1 and part 2, go ahead and tap back in. Matter of fact, if you have missed any one of our 63 episodes,
right,
make sure y'all tap in. Oh, I almost forgot. I should have said it at the very beginning. May 25th, right? Ain't that when we doing it?
25th.
Yeah. May 25th, because we started this thing where once a month we are doing a virtual ibori or hair rogation. So again, same difference. Tap in with us. It's $16. Shoot us a DM. Shoot us an email. WMYP, like who made y'all pre, at yahoo.com. You know, let us know that you're in. We'll shoot you the payment information. Then we'll send you out the email or a message. However you contact us, we'll respond back to you with, you know, the instructions. But this is a way for you to bring your head and your heart in alignment. It is a way for you to strengthen that connection with your higher self to help you be led on a path that is in alignment with your destiny and purpose, right? So we give offerings to our ancestors. We definitely love giving offerings to the Orishas. You know, it's Oseun festivals and Yemujai festivals, all kind of stuff going on all over. We love doing that, but we miss the most important aspect, which is our Ori. So again, tap in with us. We're doing it once a month. We're doing it May 25th for this month. Again, $16. Hit us up in the DM or email us at wmyp@yahoo.com. Oseun, what you got for the people? Take us out.
That's it, man. This was beautiful. Tap in with us. We appreciate y'all spending y'all precious time with us here tonight. Like Fafore say, we got it this time. We got it figured out. So next time we go live, man, we're gonna have it figured out. No technical difficulties.
Absolutely. So Odabo to our Ifa folks. Ashe. Ibobo. Peace out.